Blood 28. Reunion. When Goshijin-sama asked me to come visit someone with her, the location was at the mansion that Goshijin-sama stays at. That part was fine. It's not like this is the first time that Goshijin-sama has ordered me to do something anyway. It's not been It's not been limited to one or two occasions when I've been asked to do something crazy. However, I've never ever expected that the destination of our visit, that the one waiting for us was my opponent from our deathmatch just the other day. When I unthinkingly tried to activate my magic, I was kicked by Goshijin-sama. My HP stopped just short of vanishing completely. It's a relief that today at least didn't drop to zero. Perhaps she thought that it would be bad if the dimension was destroyed, as I was constrained by threads before I was kicked. The Oni who saw this pulled away, but it's troubling since this is normal for Goshijin-sama. Then Goshijin-sama personally handed that Oni a book and also a full set of dogi-like clothes that looked suitable for kendo, then quickly left somewhere. On leaving, she also handed me a book, so I'm sure she's telling me to read it, but what else am I supposed to be doing here? For now, I glared at the Oni. Those clothes are unmistakably handmade by Goshijin-sama. I've received some in the past as well, but Goshijin-sama seems to like making clothes, surprisingly. From the quality of the workmanship, you might wonder if they were professionally made. Well, maybe it's Goshijin-sama's tastes, but they're mostly very simple and understated, though. That the clothes handed to the Oni have good craftsmanship are simple, and most of all cannot be appraised. All substantiate, substantiate them, right? All substantiate them being made by Goshijin-sama. Substantiate? Substantiate. It's the same for Goshijin-sama herself, but the clothes made from the threads that Goshijin-sama created cannot be appraised either. Well, never mind the clothes. The problem is, why did she make them as a present for Oni? For Goshijin-sama to actually make a present, there's been no exceptions apart from me, Marzofus, and Ariel-san. Why does someone who's just turned up out from nowhere get a present? I don't really understand why, but I'm getting irritated. Even if you were glaring so much, I still wouldn't have any hostility towards you anymore, though. The Oni spoke. I was glaring because the present of clothes that Goshijin-sama gave you, though, but I'll ignore that on this occasion. So you can speak, then. When I was fighting him, he didn't even speak once, and not only that, but it was unclear if he had the ability to speak in the first place. Seemingly insane, he did nothing but radiate the urge to kill. That's why I never even considered that he could speak, but certainly the Oni in front of me is completely different and has a calm attitude. His mood is so completely different that it almost makes you wonder if he's really the same person. It's because at that time I was under the influence of wrath and had lost my sanity. Currently that influence of wrath is almost gone, so I can act on my own will now. Wrath, that was a skill the Oni has, right? He lost his sanity due to its influence. In addition, because of those comments, then he couldn't have been acting on his own will before. Wrath is one of those skills that I have, and when it's activated, my sanity is lost. In addition, there's no guarantee that it'll return. The compensation I paid for activating Wrath too much was to completely lose my sanity, reducing me to an existence that would just indiscriminately kill everything that it notices. At some point along the way, my consciousness returned for some reason, so I can still remember you, though. Perhaps in response to the doubt expressed in my face, the Oni gives me a proper explanation. You're losing your sanity and running wild, huh? What a crazy skill. To actually use a skill like that, are you a fool? I cannot deny it. However, I should explain that I was forced to use it, though. It seems implausible that a monster like you would fall into a situation where you had to rely on such a skill, though. In my words, the Oni smiled bitterly. Aren't we both monsters, I wonder? How rude, is what I would like to say, but I can't deny it, though. Of course, I wasn't always this strong. At the start, I was definitely weak, and after that, it was nothing but near-death experiences. I see, you're neither human or demon, right? Could it be that you evolved from a monster? Goshijin-sama said that she evolved from a spider monster into her current humanoid form, so maybe this Oni was the same. Yeah, I was a goblin at the start. Huh? A goblin? As in the goblin? I didn't really look at games or manga about goblins. A weak green monster that's as tall as a child, right? You're kidding, aren't you? It's true. I was born as a goblin. That's what I meant by being weak. It seems he really was a goblin. In that case, having evolved from such a weak goblin, maybe this guy deserves some respect in certain ways. When I was weak, I had to depend on the power of wrath to be able to survive. If I hadn't done that, then I would have died a long time ago, by now I'm sure. To die or to be engulfed by wrath, those were the only two choices I had. How courageous. I think I've had a quite courageous life myself, but in terms of going through situations where you had to make extreme choices to have a chance to survive, I had some myself. There was a time when it seemed like I could die any day at least. Instead of standing around talking, how about sitting down? Right. At the Oni's prompting, I sit in the suggested chair. Since this is an opportunity where reincarnators met, there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about. I unconsciously uttered, in response. Silence. You're Nigeshi Akiko-san, right? How does he... Wait, it has to be Goshijin-sama, I see, you're a reincarnator then. Now that I say it, it makes sense. Both why Goshijin-sama went out of her way to make us meet and why she also sent the clothes. Eh? Wait, eh? Eh? Silence. Why does he raise his voice in doubt at that? Ione has a strange expression. Perhaps he's stumped or perhaps he's embarrassed. So that's it. I guess so. Many months and years have passed already, so you don't even remember your classmates' faces, huh? What's he saying? Wait a minute. Now that he says it, I get the feeling that I've seen him somewhere before. After I reincarnated a completely different face, so I hadn't thought about it, but Goshijin-sama has her original face, though. Then this guy as well. Now that I look closely, though he has horns and the color of his eyes is red, he has a Japanese-looking face. I am Sasajima Kyoya. However, I use the name Wrath here. Please treat me favorably once more. Sorry, even after hearing your name, I still can't really remember you. Yep. Yep. Thanks for the translator notes. Poor vampire girl. Goodness gracious.